I thought it was interesting the way it got started because I ended up being in depressed moods in some time. I was only 39. I was doing the washing with the old ringer washer down cellar. And I sit like a lump on a log looking at a paper or a card that somebody sent Harold for his birthday. It had a covered bridge on it. I thought, I've got a neighbor that painted, so I have to take a hat down and have her paint it for me. Next thing I knew, I got up. Of course, I turned the washer off and got the kids' watercolors, the round discs, and found a paper that wasn't watercolor paper, but I painted my first picture. And I got through. Guess what? I didn't feel like the world was against me no more, because that's how I was feeling, like the whole world was against me, That's a horrible way to feel. Mm-hmm. And the picture was finished. Come home, when they finally come home, but the washing didn't know how to do the washing. So, but that's how I started, and I did another picture a little while later, and I mentioned to my doctor, because he says, I got to pick up paintbrush more often. That's what I've done. Mm-hmm. So, and then I painted some nice pictures with watercolor, and Joyce ended up with one, and Sarah saw some that I'd done dogs. She has both of those, and I'd done a few. Mm-hmm. And I started taking classes. I found this little box of oil paints in a place up in Waverly. It's no longer there, and it cost me $8.
$8.
$8. To me, that was a lot of money in them days. But but you can't find something like that today for that kind of price. And there was a lady up there that was giving classes, so I started taking classes. My first big picture I painted used to be in there, but I gave it to Kathy. I'd done pencil and paper before, and I've lost all of those pictures, moving and moving and moving. I once mentioned to Harold how many pictures I've painted through the life. He says, 100.
Oh.
1,000, maybe 2,000. I don't know what I've done.
A lot.
I have pictures of most of them.
Mm-hmm.
So
a tremendous amount.
There's at least 3 I don't have any photographs of, but otherwise, someplace in this house I've got pictures of them.
Oh yeah.
And you probably run into some.
I think I might have found the album book.
I got a lot of them, so don't ask me how many. If anybody wants to figure it out, someday they can. It does. You have to have patience, but it's so satisfying to take this flat surface, this white surface, and I found out if you color that white surface a color first. I used to use a tan color most of the time, but I've even used bright orange once. It turned out okay. But anyway, I colored the canvas, and then I painted a picture on top of it. So through the years, I've given a lot of them away, but I've sold a lot of them. Best thing I ever did was when I was with the Valley Art Society. They've got a new name for it. We called it Art Club then. I sold 13 one day. I didn't tell anybody else in the club I did. They never found out because they were already jealous of me. My golly, they were good artists too. Mm-hmm. So I just sold more than they did. Don't ask me why. Mm-hmm. And there's people have bought them and stuff. There's one over in Italy. There's one over, I found out there's one in France, up in Canada, all the way to Florida and California and stuff. They're just all over. Don't ask me where all of them are. Sometimes I'd like to know, but so, yeah. But people do like to find out who painted a picture sometimes. And one of the most satisfying things you can do, you take a picture that somebody doesn't like, or does like it, but wants me to do something of. I'm thinking two special ones right now. One is a portrait, and the other one was a kitty picture. The portrait was her senior picture, She hated it. She threw every one of them away except for one her husband had in his pocketbook. Do you know how many years he carried that in his pocketbook? So you can imagine the case, how condition it was in. He talked me into painting it because I said I wasn't. So, well, when she saw it, she cried because she never liked her picture, her photo, but she loved what I did. But how I can end up doing some of these things, I do know, because you know that good guy upstairs, he helps me. I don't know where else I got it from. I have no idea, because nobody in the family does it. You know? Nobody. So some of my children could do it if they wanted to, but they couldn't do it as good as mine. So they hadn't been painting as long as I have, you know?
Yeah. A nice picture of Grandpa when you first met him.
I did, and that's one that's lost. Yeah. I was working in this restaurant, a bar restaurant, and I sit beside him and started drawing the picture. And it turned out lovely. I wished I had it so you know what I fell in love with. Oh, I'd give anything to have that picture. But I didn't realize they were missing for a long time. I lost quite a few things that time. But, oh well. It's very satisfying, as I was going to say, to take this flat surface and be able to put something on it that is pretty enough, nice enough that somebody wants on their wall. It's one of the most satisfying things I can think of, you know. And a lot of them are, not like that one on the front porch. It's just something I made up. There's no place except whatever come off my paintbrush. It's just something I made up. It's nothing I remember. No place. I like that little picture I'm going to do for my new great-granddaughter.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait till that gets done. I got it in my mind what I want to do to it. I wish it was clearer so you could see it better. But I got a lot more work to do to it. It took me 3 days just to draw the things I was going to paint in that picture.
3 days.
Yep. And one day, I was depressed. And that's a picture I painted. And I got it all done except for down here in this one corner, I think this way. Guess which part was best?
The spot, that corner spot, huh?
No. The rest of the picture had a mellowness to it or something, and this is different down here. It's more harsh or something. But that's when I paint, so I wouldn't be depressed. So, I'm glad I found something that helps. It's awful to have such stupid thoughts in your mind, you know. But I did it. Probably a lot of people do. They just don't mention it.
In your paintings?
Yes. Ever since shortly after Joyce died, she died in 2000. I started putting an angel in all my pictures. See, I haven't got her in this one yet, but I will. So, usually hid someplace. You can't see them unless you really look. And your sister Krista, one day I'd done a bigger picture, and I'd redone it. I said, Krista, what happened to my angel was on there? Well, she said, Grandma, here's one, and here's one, and here's one. She's got quite an eye herself, and I'd like to see her maybe take up some of my art stuff and paint. Surprised at what she can do, so I think she's good. She's going to keep busy with it. Oh well, she's got time, because I didn't start until I was 39, so. And one of my art friends says, well, if you had, maybe they would have ruined your style of painting, because I didn't know what I was doing. So I paint the way God taught me. That's what I say. And other teachers have tried to change the way I paint, but I still paint the way God taught me. So I always thought I had just the best pictures in the world, and I'd put them up to the mall with some other people up there. I'd look at mine, and I'd look at theirs, and I thought, mine don't have what theirs has got. But
everyone's got their unique style.
You better believe it.
She does a nice job, I
I've
think.
been wanting to paint a picture of them, and I never have. You know, so when it's so good, you come down and you're doing this stuff.
Well,
Makes
thank
me
you.
happy.
Makes me happy too.
Know that you can do it. You can always do it. Whether you think you can, a lot of them don't think they can do any good, or they can't paint like I do. They can paint like themselves, and they do a beautiful job. So, so always know you can do it.